Now, for the last 14 years, the team at Medical Doorway have been helping many students enrol at medical schools across the Czech Republic. And there are some famous universities here, ancient universities like Charles University, Masaryk University, Palacky University. But we're here at the youngest medical school in the country, the University of Ostrava, which has got some fantastic resources, amazing investment. So let's take a look at the facilities and meet the team, and let's see if the University of Ostrava is the right medical school for you. Let's do it. Now, the level of investment here at the University of Ostrava's medical school is really mind-blowing. In a moment, we're going to go and see the fantastic simulation centre. But for the moment, we're in the Dean's Building, in one of the most modern lecture theatres I've ever seen in any European university. So if you want to come to a young university that is rapidly developing, rapidly growing, you really can't get better than the University of Ostrava here in the Czech Republic. Let's get on and see the rest of the medical school. What you find remarkable here is every single part of this faculty building, whether it be the older buildings that have been renovated or the new buildings going up, everything is being done to a very high specification. Here in the faculty building, one of the older buildings on what is a very modern medical school, they've renovated every single room, everything is all connected, you can access high-speed internet. You really are struggling to kind of find any fault in the investment that is going on into the university here in Ostrava. So I'm going to be quiet, but behind me we're in the main lecture theatre here at the Medical School of the University of Ostrava. As you can see, it's a very large enrolment of students here that they have, both on the domestic programme for Czech citizens and also on the international programme for students on the English programme. This is the Aula, the main lecture theatre, where you'll be here for the initial enrolment. Many of your big lead lectures will be in this room here, as well as the other one that we saw in the Dean's Building. Again, you know, the facilities here, for the price you're paying for the tuition, you really are struggling to find somewhere that's as good value as here at the University of Ostrava. Now, as I've already said, the medical school at the University of Ostrava is in different buildings, but actually the wider university as well is multi-faculty. Different faculties and different specialities all across this city, and it is quite a big city. In fact, there's a huge library of the university in the centre, and many of your books that you're going to use, or the resources you're going to use to study, can be accessed from the main library, but for convenience, they've also got this mini library here at the medical faculty, so you haven't got to go all the way to the centre if you need to study for a particular subject. You can do it here. You've got access to the internet, you're going to have access to all the different research journals and online resources that you need, in addition to the more traditional textbooks that you'll be able to access here, all in English. Now, I've been in lots of simulation centres before, but this one really makes it feel real. In fact, we've got a dummy ambulance. It's the back end of the ambulance here, obviously, engine's not there, but as we go in, it's set up just like an ambulance would be. The beds, defibrillator, ECGs, etc. Everything that perhaps you would need as in emergency medicine to actually utilise if you're working with a person in the real environment of having an accident or some kind of other trauma. Really fantastic opportunity that you're going to get here at the University of Ostrava. So this kind of wide simulation area, we're in the control room, and all the computers behind play the scenario that goes on outside on the big screen for then people to start using the ambulance. So what we've just done is we've changed the scenario. It's got a tennis match going on, perhaps someone's going to have an accident at a tennis match, and then the controller here can, by live kind of action, change what's going to happen, change the actions of the dummy, or even speak on behalf of the dummy that's going to be used in place of a real patient. There aren't many facilities like this you're going to find anywhere in the world, and the one here at the University of Ostrava is definitely the most developed one I've seen so far in all my journeys of medical schools. So the idea of this part of the simulation centre is to bring together kind of the primary care, the emergency setting outdoors, and then coming into an emergency room in a hospital. So they've got them next door to try and simulate what that transition will be like. And here now, you're in the simulation emergency room in the accident and emergency department. The patient who perhaps has now had a heart attack, whether they've been playing tennis or something like that, is now in the hospital environment. So then the people who are in charge here can then practice and learn the skills that they need in emergency medicine. Again, it's a fantastic resource. So if you come to the University of Ostrava, you're going to get access to all of this, and you can't really wish for much more. And now we're in the ITU room, intensive care unit. So again, we've gone from outside initial accident or emergency in the ambulance through to the emergency room, and now stabilizing after the patient's already been stabilized here now in the intensive care unit. The idea is that we're taking the patient and you as a medical student through the whole patient journey from initial accident right through to ITU and eventually to rehabilitation, which is upstairs. So we're now in the operating room and it's got everything. This theatre's got everything. You've got the washing facilities behind where you simulate exactly how you will prepare. And then there are various different stations around. We've got obviously the patient here ready for surgery, but then we've also got laparoscopy machines, various ones for generic skills, and also the first time I've ever seen one specifically for doing knee arthroscopy. So if you're doing, repairing meniscus, removing parts of the meniscus, or looking at the anterior cruciate ligament, those kinds of skills that you're going to need, you can do that here in this amazing facility they've got at the University of Ostrava. So we're in a fantastic room. I've never seen anything like this before. It's a simulation center that is used for like microsurgery. These big microscopes here. You can practice, looking at very small vessels. Here you've got an eye surgery simulator, different things from ophthalmology. In fact, there's a 3D printer here where they actually do print the skulls for you to then drill in small holes. Really is a fantastic resource that I've never seen in any other medical school. Perhaps other medical schools might want to catch up and develop the same things that they're getting here in Ostrava. And you've also got a special area for pediatrics. We're in the pediatric intensive care unit simulation here. You've got the kind of the cot side, the bed side, so you're working on children of different ages, learning the different skills that you'll need, because obviously your skills differ depending on the age and development of a child. So everything you need in terms of taking or learning the skills that you need from, say, newborns all the way through to, say, care of the elderly, you can get right here in this amazing simulation centre. Now we've moved from the university and from that amazing simulation centre to one of the hospitals that you will be practicing in when you're a student here at the University of Ostrava. So you'll take all of those skills from the simulation centre and put them into practice on real patients in the 3 main hospitals here in what is a very large city. So we're so fortunate to be allowed into the hospital. We're in the kind of emergency centre, the resus room as we'd call it in the UK, where if patients come in on a helipad outside or by ambulance who need really emergency care because of the condition they're in, this is where they come. We're not going to show patients, obviously, for confidentiality purposes, but this is where you'll get that real clinical experience that you've been developing in the simulation centre under the supervision here of amazing doctors and other healthcare professionals from Ostrava before you then eventually take this forward in your future career wherever you work across the world. Fantastic opportunities here in the hospitals for you to develop your skills and learn all the knowledge that you'll need to take your career far and wide. So in the Czech Republic and Ostrava especially, there's always a lot of developments in medical education and also medical practice. And right behind me, we've got the telemedicine centre here. This is a fantastic centre where actually patients who can't come to hospital don't have to. Their vital signs, all their data can be collected at home on a special app, and doctors here can then video call with the patients, meaning the patients don't have to come to hospital to get first-class healthcare. It's a whole new set of practices and skills that you will learn here at the University of Ostrava. Now you may, when you're at medical school, decide you want to specialise. You might have a particular interest in an area, although you are studying general medicine. And you'll get the opportunity to see so many different departments in your time here in Ostrava. In fact, we're at the largest department of psychiatry in the Czech Republic here in Ostrava. So if you've got an interest in psychiatry, which is a big area of practice in the UK, especially right now, you're going to get so many opportunities here in Ostrava to learn more about psychiatry and the treatments that as doctors you will be implementing with patients. Now, before we leave the hospital and head into Ostrava town to show you a little bit of the town itself, it's important to remember you're not just here for education, you're here to do research. And there are so many research opportunities here. This is a fantastic brand new research centre behind us, looking at genetic testing, genetic diseases, prevention of hereditary diseases, things that are going to shape medicine for years to come, that you will be able to start whilst you're a student here at the University of Ostrava in the Czech Republic. Now, it was fantastic to go and visit the university, see the simulation centre, the lecture rooms, also the hospital, which is fantastic, to be honest. But we really need to find out more about the city, because you're going to be spending 6 years studying here. So let's do a little bit of an exploration around Ostrava and see what we can find. Now, Ostrava is famous in the Czech Republic for its industrial past, coal mining, steel working. In fact, one of the biggest steel factories was here. The remnants of it are still there as a tourist site, but it's not operating anymore. But since then, the economy here has changed vastly. Technology, artificial intelligence, and you can see the wealth of this city, especially in the shopping mall right behind me, which we're going to take a look at now. Now, if you're a student who's interested in wellness, fitness, sport, the Czech Republic has got to be one of the best countries to study in. And the University of Ostrava definitely should be on your list. We're in the city campus. Yes, this is a building of the university in the city centre with a great view around. And why has it got a great view around? Because we're on the rooftop running track. Just take a look, and all around us, you've got the city of Ostrava, all the brand new university buildings. You can even do beach volleyball down there if you want, despite the fact that we're in a landlocked country. So if this is something that you're interested in having access to for the 6 years of your studies, then make your application to the University of Ostrava. So thank you for joining us on our tour of the medical school at the University of Ostrava here in the Czech Republic. If you want to apply to the University of Ostrava or any of our medical schools, get in touch with the Medical Doorway, go to our website, get our full free of charge support.